Okay, folks, I just wanted to have a brief discussion about the Asia range and how we use it in intraday trading. So I've been trading this concept since I noticed it about a year and a half ago. I was posting results on Forex Factory. A lot of people joined my group off the back of how I was trading it, and it kind of became a staple of how I viewed the intraday Forex market. And I still consider it the main anchor point of the day. It's really important that we understand how this works. I introduced it to the volume traders too, and it's kind of become part of their staple. So I'm really happy to have shared this. But like I said, there's nothing new under the sun. This idea has been around forever and builds on the concepts of liquidity I mentioned on the previous section. Also, I should say people started messaging me about a guy called Stacy Burke on YouTube. I haven't checked out his videos yet, but apparently he talks about this kind of stuff a lot. So when I get some time, I'll check out his videos. But anyway, this is how I approach it personally. And again, this is just a small part of how we trade at Cable Traders. First of all, the overnight Asia range is frequently used by market makers for manipulation. There's usually a lot of liquidity on either side to be targeted. That tends to be picked up during the London session, so this could be used to our advantage. The first thing I want to note is the Asia range high and low are key levels in the context of the Cable Traders syllabus. I also did not want you to use an indicator to draw out the Asia range. I want you to apply common sense to this and use your trader brain and draw it yourself. The reason for this I'll illustrate in a minute. So the example we're going to get to is the 9th of May. So I'm just going to fast forward a little bit. So what we're really looking for is where the liquidity resides around the Asia range. The strict time of it doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. What we're looking for is key highs and lows that develop during the session. Please don't stick rigidly to timings on this. Start using that. Start with the time of the Asia range, but adjust on the fly based on what you see, like equal highs, equal lows, and it might not always align to the strict timings. So logically, once the liquidity has been rated from a key level, this is our signal to be ready for a reversal. But the first thing we're going to do is try and draw out the Asia high and low from the 9th of May. So I'm set to UK time, which is UTC +1. And so we already have the Asia high for the 9th of May, which is 11 o'clock. Okay, so it's here. So this goes back to what I was talking about using some common sense. There's some equal highs here, so for the sake of argument, I'm going to call it Asia high here. Equal highs contain liquidity, so it's probably going to target up here if it does come back up. The Asia low, there's some discussion about this, but for the sake of argument, we'll call it 7 o'clock UK time, which is the beginning of the Frankfurt session. So if we just zoom in here, it's not quite begun. Okay, so just about here. So along with the Asia high and low, the Frankfurt high and low are also key levels, but we'll get into that at a different date on a different session. So the idea is that the Asia high and low can be rated for liquidity, and that's a signal for reversal. But in addition to that, we also need a trading level, which is a supply and demand level or an FVG from M15 or above, i.e. M15, M30, H1, FVG, and we'll get into what those are at a later date too. So we'll just see how this unfolds. We're on an H4 demand level, which is from, I think it's from 2020. It's an ancient one, but it's still valid. Sorry. So we have our Asia high and low. It's kind of hard to see, so I'm just gonna like emphasize them a little bit. All right. So like I said, once we've rated a key level, we should be looking out for a reversal as long as we're on a trading level. And a trading level is either a supply and demand level or an FVG, like we described. So we need both of these ingredients to be in place. So as it's London Open and we're at the Asia low, we can be looking out for a reversal. So that's what we're going to do. The precise mechanics of entry and where exactly we enter, again, we'll get that into a later session, but it's based around the futures footprint. So there you go. It's been rated already. We also have the Frankfurt low, I believe, set at 725 for now. And that's when you're rated. So now we're looking out for a reversal, which we can actually see starting right now. And what we're seeing is the beginning of a displacement, an energetic move up. And in fact, I can see, just eyeballing this, that we have an entry level, this FVG, which we'd see in the futures footprint. So I'm just going to mark that out. This is kind of a difficult example, to be honest. It's very rapid. And I'm using the M5 time frame. Usually it would be on M1 at this point. And our natural target is going to be the Asia high. If you want a really high octane trade, you could target the next M15 supply. Don't do this because we're using 3 pip stop loss typically, and this is a 70 pip trade, so don't be greedy here, just target the Asia high. But if you were really greedy, let's just do it for hell of it. Okay, boom, take profit. That's you got 70 pips from a 3 pip stop loss, so around about 25R. And if you held, that's 125 pips. So this, this is the kind of trades we're doing. This is, this is the good trade. You're not going to get this every day, but it's an idea of how you can utilize the Asia range in your trading.